Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
$8 p.m. on a Tuesday. Welcome to this edition of the X-Fan Show, where we X out all of the other podcasts. I am the A-Train, Arlington Lane, that goofball over there.
It's the loudest mouth of the entire spring football world, the one and only Dirty Nostrous. As always, thank you, and you're welcome. What's up, pal?
I still don't like you.
I know you don't, but that's okay. You know what? And the rest of the XFL world doesn't either, and the rest of the USFL world doesn't either. Because of why, Arlington? Why don't they like me, Arlington? You know why? Because what's got two thumbs and is always right? This guy right here.
Freaking hate you, man.
No, but seriously, listen. If you go in, listen, and I've been saying this, Arlington, and I've been saying it for months on this show and all of that stuff. You know, there have been certain people out there who've retweeted my stuff as facts because they're not in the know anymore. You know, the great James Larson, who might be next to me and you, Arlington, one of the front runners of the news that is breaking. Give credit to Michael Lathrop. He's broke some big news and stuff like that. Arlington, we've been talking about it for months on this show, Arlington.
Before we go any further.
It happened, but nobody wanted to listen, Arlington. What's up, Jersey?
Before we go any further.
By the way, I'm drinking hot water.
Before we go any further, This show is sponsored by Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company.
Yeah.
All right, as always, we're broadcasting through the X-Fan Legion Studios, and we're a proud member of Pro Football Newsroom. So if you can, make sure that you go and check out pfnewsroom.com, especially if this show, if you don't go back and watch it on YouTube, you can definitely check it out on pfnewsroom.com. Thank you so much.
And we got Brett in here. Brett's in here. And, you know, hey, check out the shit show that was the Bottom Line last night from Brett and Big Daddy Ed.
Congratulations to the Bottom Line.
They did it. We had some technical difficulties on that show, but it did very well. So, hey, congratulations to those guys. They did a damn good job.
Congratulations to the Bottom Line.
Yeah, did a great job last night.
I always knew that Big Ed would hey Amanda, I always knew that Big Ed would have a good show.
Oh, see, I thought the opposite. I thought it was going. I thought Brett would have done good. I always knew Brett was going to do good. Big Daddy Ed, not so much. Brett did a great job.
You already know how
difficult.
Daddy Ed is close to my heart, man.
Listen, even though Brett had some technical difficulties, he was the star of that show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That ain't what you told me. That ain't what you told me last night.
My opinion. Even though Brett
ain't what you told me last night.
I said, even though Brett had some technical difficulties, he was the star of that show.
That ain't what you told me last night, sir.
Show. He had some shitty connections.
You liar. You straight lying on this show right now, man, to save your ass. That's amazing.
All I can say is this, is now we actually had some competition.
Competition? No, competition is when you're on the same night as several other shows are tonight.
Big
Even our good friends.
Daddy had now we actually have some competition.
Even our good friends over at Neon Green Mafia. They
listen. We actually might have a show that they're going to be a little more informative than us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
we're informative already.
Are we informative?
Absolutely.
Are we informative?
Check that out. See, our guy Will says, "Look, Wild Sun will be at the St. Louis Beer Fest at the Science Center this Saturday night." So, folks, if you're in St. Louis, make sure that you go and check out Wild Sun at St. Louis Beer Fest.
I have a feeling there's going to be 3 people there.
I can figure that out too. I think 3 people from this XFL community.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. No, I love. Listen, not everybody's first show is always the greatest. I mean, Arlington, our shows weren't the best.
Speak for yourself.
No, our first show was a shit show.
Speak for yourself. You were the shit show. I wasn't. No, just playing.
No, I mean, hey, listen. After the numbers that we saw, Merry Tuesday, Santa. There's Santa's real.
And Santa is real. What do we have here? Merry Tuesday to you too.
Yeah.
Listen. We're just a couple months away from Christmas.
A couple months away from Christmas. But as the numbers show from last night's show, the bottom line that'll be broadcasting over on Pro Football Alliance, it shows that we actually, Arlington, for 2 guys who apparently didn't have a following, nobody really listened to us. Thank you to all those people who tuned in to our new show that we premiered last night. Thank you, and tune in next week. That show's only going to get better. And look, if you don't like us, tune into Neon Green Mafia, who's going on right now. Tune into those guys. This is about getting as much information out there as possible. So, Arlington, where do we
information? I'm glad you brought that up. I must give a brief shout out to LaCale London of the Atlanta Falcons, former St. Louis Battlehawk. Saw some action.
Do you know where we're going to talk about that at on Arlington?
I'm letting y'all go deep. I'm gonna let y'all go deep dive into that tomorrow. But I want to make a mention.
You know who's going to go deep on that one tomorrow? Is this guy right here that said, F you, dirty. Big Daddy Ed will definitely go deep on that one tomorrow.
Yes. Also, I want to talk about your boy, PJ Walker.
Yeah, PJ.
He plays for your team, the Cleveland Browns, one of your favorite teams.
My AFC team.
Yeah, one of your favorite teams.
Brett, we're giving you shit. We're giving you shit, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yes.
Yeah, your boy PJ Walker.
Yeah, baby.
Who was, let's see. The only thing that came out of positive was the fact that he got the dub. That was it.
Or he's just that good. Or he's just that damn good. Like I've been saying.
Damn good. Are you kidding me?
Yes, he is that damn good. PJ Walker is that damn good. I've been saying it this whole time that he is just like we're going to see now that Russell Wilson is being benched for the Seahawk, right? We're going to see the great Nooch taking over in Denver, and he's leading them to
now that is an interesting development here. Like, if they're benching him, that means DiNucci's going to have to.
And again, what did I say? I said Ben DiNucci will be playing for the Denver Broncos before the season ends.
But that hasn't been made official yet.
It hasn't, but, dirty nostrils. If I say it, it's true.
If you say it is true, huh?
You know it. You know
really?
it.
You think so? You think you money like that, sir? You think you money like that? Get a damn lottery ticket.
No, lotteries for old people and lotteries for old people.
Apparently so, because those are the ones that keep winning the damn thing.
You know where that line? I was going to say lotteries for old people and Mexicans. You know where that's from, right? For
Boy
Boys in the Hood when Ricky and
yeah, when they were out going out to get the tickets.
when Ricky and Trey were walking down the alleyway.
I love this. Dirty takes. Dirty takes are like the lump of coals he's getting for Christmas.
Yeah. You remember walking down through the alley, and Trey goes, "Man, Dad says the only people that win that are Mexicans and old people and Mexicans."
He did. He said that.
Ricky goes, "Well, I'm a descendant from a Mexican."
Jersey thinks that Nucci will be starting before the season is over. Oh yeah, week 18. Week 18, he'll probably get the start.
Maybe.
Week 18, he'll probably get the start. You know,
yeah. Brett,
I know you say it sooner.
Brett, I'd watch how many times you correct me if I was you, because I got your whole world in my hand. I got in my hand. I got your whole.
You're so stupid. But no, man. Like, okay, there were. Speaking of PJ Walker, man, he had a couple of costly turnovers, and there was one play when I say he got bailed out.
He did.
He got bailed out because there was a play where all they needed to do was run the clock. They were getting down the field, and he decided to throw instead of run.
Right.
And he could have got a first down. They keep the ball. You keep the clock moving because you're trying to keep Brock Purdy from getting another opportunity. You are so hard on yourself.
Shut up. You're crying.
Anyway, that, when he ran instead of, he decided to, pass, and it became a fourth down, and then they had to take a field goal. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, dude, and I'm at the bowling alley in Dallas, Texas. Shout out to everybody at that tournament. I'm telling you, 500 bowlers in one venue. That's crazy. Over 500. And we were watching the bonus coverage of Cleveland and San Francisco. And we sit back looking at PJ. I'm like, dude, if you're going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, man, you're going to have to make some better decisions, right? You get an opportunity to do it due to Deshaun Watson's injury. And I know you have to make the best of it, because I guarantee you, if Cleveland would have lost that game, everybody's pointing the finger at PJ Walker.
Oh, 100%. You're
everybody, and especially in Cleveland, because you had an opportunity to win, make a better decision, and you didn't do it.
Right. Yeah. But now, Arlington, you talk about who owns who and all that stuff, right? So let's really talk about
the topic of the discussion. Are we really in over our heads?
Right. Who are we really in on? Who owns who? USFL or the XFL? Arlington, we've talked about this for months on this show, right? Now, Brett and Daddy Ed touched on it a little bit. And I mean, and they both really had some really good insight, even though we did have some technical difficulties, which, they had some insight on it and stuff like that, because Brett had mentioned that he had talked to some of his sources.
Leo, you're giving way too much credit to this dude. I know I hated that I had to make my little dumb video.
Yes, Brett, the numbers. Yes, you're right. It was a test run, and the numbers were very, very good. Trust me. Arlington, are we upset about the numbers last night for that show? The new show we
apparently not. We were very pleased with what we saw, and I think the bottom line will be even on a day like Monday Night Football, if you miss it, you can go catch it on
Arlington. And are we not going to give those two clowns shit
all the time?
Exactly.
So just be aware of it.
Just be aware.
Dirty's gonna probably give more than I will. I'll just give it on the slide, but Dirty will definitely do it for you guys.
But anyway, so let's get into this. Who really owns who? Brett had mentioned that he had talked to some of his connections at the USFL and in the XFL. And no, I can tell you this right now.
I got an idea for that.
Okay. All right.
I got an idea for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
I do. I really have an idea for it. I think it might work out. We have to talk about it later.
I don't really think they would do better if you were on this show.
Listen. There's going to be something we might have to try out and test out. Just might have to.
Oh, are we talking the same thing? We
I think so. I think we are. But anyway, back to about this who's owning of the
owning who. Now look, here's how we know, Arlington. We know that Redbird, we know that the XFL was bought by a consortium of owners. Okay. Now, if you guys are, if people don't know, a consortium is all of those people have to get somebody to have more votes to make their thing. See here. Okay, Brett, here's how I'm going to explain this. So like, as a consortium, you have to get at least 50 or 51%. You have to get at least 50% of the votes, the majority of the votes, to do your way. Now, Arlington, click back up, because I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to use the WWE for example. Okay.
All right.
Arlington,
are you going to use that storyline?
Huh?
Are you going to use that storyline?
We're gonna break it down for you, Arlington. The WWE is a publicly traded company, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, they have investors and they have shareholders. Hello, Jackie. They have shareholders, correct? That all get a vote at the table, right? You mean, look, you can say what you want, but go back and watch shows, because this guy right here hasn't been lying to you this entire time. Been telling you guys the truth. You guys just don't want to listen to me. So anyways, Arlington, Vince McMahon has the most single votes for the WWE, correct?
All right.
So now you do your vote, right? Or you take it to the board. You want to do something. You can get everybody up to where Vince McMahon is. And then Vince McMahon has the single highest concentrated of voting power. So who do you think wins? The people that beat Vince, or the person who has the single most voting power?
Well, of course, Vince in this case.
Now, so let's look at this. The XFL is a consortium of investors, right? It's come to find out, we know that The Rock and we know that Danny only owns 5% of the XFL. That's all they own. All we know is they were the figureheads. They owned very little of the company. The majority of the ownership was through Jerry and Redbird Capital. That's what we've seen. The documents are out there. You can go see them. They're out there. So now you do this merger. Who owns the USFL, Arlington?
Fox does. Fox owns them.
Is there anybody else? Anybody else with Fox that owns the USFL?
Nope, just Fox.
So in the XFL, they have an investment group that owns the league, correct?
Right.
So they have 50%, right?
Yep.
But yet Fox has one person with 50%.
No, Disney does not, Jimmy.
So who actually has the controlling interest in this?
It's going to be Fox in this case.
Exactly.
It's going to be Fox in this case, man. Like, all right. And I as much as I don't like it whatsoever, but hey.
See, like right here. Like when Jay-Z owned the Brooklyns, he only had very small investment in it. Yes.
With a lot of celebrities that get involved in sports ownership is not going to have a lot of it.
Now, see,
the only person that had a big controlling interest in this case would be Michael Jordan. Right. But he also gave up that ownership to somewhere else.
Yeah. So now Lorenzo's saying here that Redbird owns 45 and Fox owns 50. I haven't heard that one yet.
Fox got more of the share.
If you look at that, who owns this new league? It would still be Fox. This is not a merger. They're only saying it's a merger to get it through regulatory faster. That's the only reason. No, Brett,
you really sound like this is a freaking hostile takeover.
Brett, they really don't have as much input as you think they have. They're not. Redbird is not going to have the.
Because if that was the case, you said if what was being put out there was Redbird reached out to
Redbird
the USFL, not the other way around.
Exactly. And I'll give you a speculation. Are you ready, Arlington?
You big on them.
I'm big, but
it ain't been wrong since. So hell, go ahead.
In my crystal ball, by the end of the month, we will see the official announcements of Rock and Danny gone from the XFL, Russ Brandon gone from the XFL, and Doug Whaley gone from the XFL. By the end of the month.
Okay, so this is what we have heard. If you haven't been paying attention, Mark Ross is gone.
Yep.
If you can pull it up right now. You can go to Pro Football Newsroom. They have that right now, thanks to James Larson doing an amazing job getting information on that.
He's having other people, Arlington, he's having other people recopy his stuff and acting like it's their tweets.
I'm not going to get into that, but anyway, I know you won't. Stop, because you keep doing that. You're going to do it anyway. My thing is also a couple of people from the Roughnecks. You ought to if you're not paying attention to this, folks, the writing is clearly on the wall here. That teams that you may see are still going to be around and others that won't be. They just let go of Houston's ticket sales guy.
Oh my God. This is this is what is killing her. You know that.
It makes me want to drink. I want to start drinking.
I did say Redbird was walking away. You
did not.
I did not. I just said certain individuals will be walking away. That will be gone. That's all I'm saying.
I wish you knew how to spell. I wish you did.
Oh, I did spell it wrong, didn't I? Here, let me figure it out. Here, I'll just redo this. How do you spell it? I forgot. I did spell it.
You know how to spell stay?
Oh, it's really small on this. Stain. There you go. I got it. Okay, there you go. I fixed it.
The Rock will be a pitchman.
Nope, Rock's going to be gone.
What's the word on the new league selling out the franchises?
The
rumor is they want to do it.
Rumor is they want to do it, but don't know
so
if they're going to.
This is, and I have a beef, but I'm not going to talk about it just yet. If it comes up, then I'll mention it. I do. But the beef ain't a bad beef. David says the departures. Oh God.
Will you stop? I'll do it. Oh, okay.
That's what the one I wanted. You keep cutting it off.
Gotcha.
The departures of Danny, Dwayne, and Russ would be a huge surprise. Would it? Would it be? Danny, yes. Dwayne, I get because he's a figurehead. Russ Brandon, not so much.
No, I mean, come on, let's really look at this. Okay. Again, that's why we put this up. Who is staying with this new league? So I mean, let's really break it down from the top to the bottom. Okay. So we know
what do you think, because you don't know.
Wait, all right. That's why this is okay. You want me to change it? Do you want me to edit it?
Please.
Okay. Who do we think? Who?
I still don't think you don't know shit.
Wait, what?
I still don't think you know shit.
Okay. You hate it when I'm right. Who do we think
is staying?
I put thing. I did it again too. Idiot. See? I really got to get my glasses, Arlington.
He said league is spelled wrong.
League is spelled wrong?
David says, Arlington, you suggested that the Roughnecks won't survive the merger. I've been thinking that would simply rebrand them as the Gamblers and then either fold or relocate the original Gamblers. I just think that the Roughnecks are just going to be gone, period.
Oh, it is. I switched the G, the J, the G, and the E.
And that sucks terrible, for real. Because considering that they actually had a fan base and you didn't know who the USFL gamblers were.
Exactly.
What's the point of rebranding? What's the point of rebranding? What's the point of rebranding the team if the team is already there?
All right, so
you want to move the original gamblers to what?
Here, listen, I've been telling everybody this for months. Have I not, Arlington? Have I not? Here's how this is going to work. Look, so we have Redbird and Fox who are the two main proprietors of this league, right? Regardless if you want to call it the NSFL or the UFL, okay? Regardless of what you want to call it, it doesn't matter.
Hey, we're gonna put a pin on that UFL thing too.
Well, yeah, because that's just a smokescreen. So that's all that is, just a smokescreen. But anyways,
put a pin on that. But go ahead.
Are you going to have two presidents of your league? No, you're going to have one. So you have your main person, okay, which we know with Redbird, it was Russ Brandon who made the contact with Redbird Capital. It was Russ Brandon who made contact. He was told to reach out by Jerry to them the day after the championship game on May 12th. He was told to reach out Monday after the championship game. That's how long this has been going on since then. So
why would it be on May 12th when that's a Friday? At least get your
the championship game.
Dates correct.
May 13th. You're right. So it was May 15th.
At least get it on the 15th, correct?
Whatever.
Get your shit correct.
All right, so like Brett said,
call yourself Nostradamus.
Look, like Brett says, you're gonna have Daryl Johnson as your lead guy, as the president. Okay.
That just golly.
Why? You could say what you want. You could say what you want. We could say everything that we want. Okay. But the USFL has been successful for 2 years. Basically, actually, 3 years.
Stop. Define success.
They've played 3 years. If you include
two.
If you include the spring,
no, don't even bother. You're only saying that because of Brian Woods. You're not saying it because of the league itself. Remember, he gave up.
That's true.
He gave up the league himself.
He did. But again, they did 2 years.
So you can't include the spring league.
Right. They did 2 years. So you think about it. Dirty stressing out poor Arlington. So if you really think about it, you're going to have the cuts. And and the higher ups are probably going to be more for the USFL side.
Probably be the last champ too at that.
Yeah, I think Birmingham will be the next champ in this new league. So it doesn't matter. So you're going to get rid of Russ Brandon, okay? Now we know that.
Whoa! You just say you think it because you don't know. You keep thinking that. You keep thinking that you know that Russ Brandon's gone. You don't have any freaking clue.
I'm going to speculate.
Just because you've been right these last few months or whatever, you still ain't bought a lottery ticket, so you don't know shit. Yeah, I'm pissed off with you. You are if you ain't seen it by now.
When aren't you pissed off?
JC is right. I'm pissed off, man. Like I'm getting stressed out because of the stuff that you saying, and you actually freaking right. Like you some kind of Stugatz in this damn league. I
am the Stugatz of spring football and the Pat McAfee of spring football.
Shut the hell up.
Yes, Mr. Jackson, it is a 51-40.
Shut up. I'm sick of you, man. It's like, dude, I don't get it.
Now, look, here's what we do know. The XFL had 8 cities who had stadium deals, right?
Yeah, pause.
Okay.
Pause on the stadium deal. Brett asked me, what's my problem with Moose? I don't have a problem with Moose because Moose had a gig in the XFL back in 2020. My thing is, I guess I got souped up with this whole ordeal with a woman running the league. And I know the backlash is coming from this unless she remains in this league. That's the only way that doesn't change. But from what Dirty is speculating, Danny's going too. That's my thing.
But think about it though, okay? With this league, okay, and the way Fox is, you have Danny still somewhat involved in this. It's going to piss off. Here's what we do know for sure, 100% for sure. Nobody's going to like this new league either way it goes. There are going to be people pissed off. Hands down.
There's going to be what?
There are going to be people pissed off.
When have they not been pissed off?
I mean, right. That's the thing with spring football. Arlington, we've been doing this shit for 5 years, and I've never seen anybody at any given time happy about the late.
because here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. We back in and me and I'm starting to have this Brett spirit in me, and it's starting to and I need to remove it so badly, but I can't help but go back to it. Remember back in 2020, the Fan Advisory Network for 2019, 2020, it was made for what we wanted to see in football, in spring football, in professional football. When Vince McMahon put out in 2018 in January, when he made that announcement, he said he was giving the game back to fans. Then when he let go of the league, and Dwayne and Redbird and Danny got a hold of it, they tried to keep that, but they didn't sustain it. Right,
exactly. They didn't. And look, Brett said it right here. Look, listen.
It was fine.
It was.
And we compare because we're comparing it to what we saw in 2020. And the thing is, that's really not fair. It's not fair because we didn't get a full season out of it.
But Arlington, we know because we've had people on this show that were in the know. We knew that there wasn't going to be a second season of the XFL in 2020 because it was told to us and it was said on our show that we weren't going to have a second season because Vince didn't like the way it was performing. You guys got to realize.
No, you know what I think it is? It was because of how it was performing. It was the person that he had in charge. He wasn't right.
That's true too. That is true too.
That's who it was. It was, and you think that these people aren't petty? They're freaking petty.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, let's really look at this. So, in my opinion, you have the XFL reaching out to the USFL, right? So this is why. Because Arlington, you know, and I know you hate it, and I'm going to bring it up again with The Rock being in trouble with Disney and NBC, you know, them cutting their ties. That affects their TV deal. Who's their TV deal with? Their TV deal was with Disney and ESPN, correct? Now, Disney's selling off ESPN to God knows who they're selling it to. So you're a business guy. Yeah, you're a business guy, and you're an investment group like Redbird Capital. You know, love him or hate him, John Turner wrote an article about this a long time ago.
And I've been trying to find it, and it's, you know, ever since he got rid of the site.
He said that once Redbird starts losing money, they'll cut their losses. And that's what they did. They cut their losses. Now, they're still going to be involved with this merger.
Who is?
The Redbird Capital. They're still going to be involved.
Yeah, because this is their investment, and they got to protect it.
But they're not going to be the sole proprietor. They're not going to make a lot of the major decisions. So now, I'm glad that Sock Dim says this. Who do we think is going to stay in this league? I'll tell you this right now. Here's how it's going to work. Did the XFL have money? Did the XFL have money? If they
had the investment, you know, you have the capital raised, right?
But yet, when you blow through all of it, and
he said the XFL has money. Do you know who Fox is?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know who Fox is? You think Fox is just some nobody?
Here's the thing.
They're a conglomerate.
does really Redbird really have the capital money? You know?
Okay. All right. Get that comment right there. That latest. Yes. There's no way. So here's my thing. It goes back to what I have been saying about this all along. When 2020 came around, they looked like it was going to be very profitable. Or let me reiterate, could have had a profit because how everything was moving. It was moving better than what people were expecting, right? Then you drop off for 2 years and then you come back, which, mind you, had a great season, but a lot of people had distrust with the XFL because you lost the momentum that you had back in 2020, lost a lot of it. And so to regain that was going to be the difficult task. And you were going to have to spend money to see if that was going to work. $60 million was the figure, could have been more, we don't know. But that was the number that was posted by Forbes. But my thing is this. You had a league and you put out, and it did look good on TV. You know what I mean? We got a championship game and all that good stuff. It was about us, the consumer. The consumer. Were we going to trust that again? Of course, you and I were.
Okay, so here it is. This is from Sportspedia. Redbird Capital oversees a net worth of 7.5 in equities from small groups of blue chip investors. So Redbird Capital really doesn't have any money. They're just overseeing money for people. That's really it. And Jerry Garnell, or how do you say his last name, Arlington? You know,
Jerry Cardinal.
Yeah. It doesn't even give me his net worth. And that's as of 2023. Okay? That's the thing with these investment companies is they're always relying on people to keep putting money into the investment funds. And if they're not making money. Okay? Now,
right.
That's what Redbird Capital oversees is that 7.3, right? Now, let's see. Fox's net worth. Fox's net worth as of October 16th is $14.28 billion. Almost double. Yes, exactly, Brett. Exactly. They are always relying on other people's banks. Very few people or companies have a ton of liquidations. And if you remember, we had the mayor on this show last year talking about how it seemed like that the 2020 version of the XFL was always using OPP, other people's money, OPM, other people's money, because they were always putting something out to make the next buck, to make the next buck. So really, how much money was Redbird Capital really investing into the XFL?
Or were they even invested in anything at all?
Exactly. So there's a reason why they would reach out to Fox, because they needed money to keep this going. Look, if Vince said he had dumped in the $500 million that he actually dumped in to the XFL, he could have kept it all going during COVID. He kept his WWE going through it. He kept it going through that. Vince didn't have the money either to keep the XFL going. These spring leagues are expensive. They are very, very, very expensive. That's what we've seen. That's why these have never lasted. The one in the 80s only lasted the 3 years for the simple fact it would have lasted longer if they didn't get greedy. No, I don't think they did. I honestly do not think they ever did. I don't. And I'd said it before. I've said that. I never thought that they had complete confidence.
Who is the they? Redbird?
Redbird. That's why they were wanting to do the partner with the CFL. Yeah.
How funny that WWE figureheads and the CFL always come back. Or have we forgotten?
Right, yeah.
have we forgotten?
Right, look, I like this one. You take my M, we're going to fight. You take my P, I'm going to kill you. So anyways, the question is who do we think is going to stay in this league? So let's really look at this.
You got to start at the top.
Okay, look, we already did. Daryl Johnson's staying, right? Daryl Johnson's staying. Now, if you look
it would be best.
Now, if you get to
football guy remain.
Yeah, if you get to like the marketing side and stuff like that, I would have to go again to Fox. I'd have to give it to Fox for the marketing, right? Now, if you go into the ticket sales and stuff like that, then it's got to go to the USFL. It's got to go to the USFL. Or
the tickets?
XFL's got to go.
I'm about to say, well, you out your damn mind for saying that one.
It's got to go XFL. So there's your upper. Now let's get to teams. That would be your upper stuff. And
now, I wouldn't mind if Moose and Danny work together.
I'm telling you, they're not there. I'm telling you, they're not going to be there.
I'm just saying that for what's out there.
Yeah. So
you're out your damn mind, man. If you're thinking that the XFL tickets didn't do nothing, man, are you kidding me?
No, you're right. It was the XFL. You take the XFL.
Did we not forget the 500,000 fans?
Take the XFL ticket size and bring them on.
I'm about to say and then what you just did is you took a dump on Corey Helvey. After you just sat there and you praised him.
Speaking of that, if you are in the Orlando area tomorrow, Corey Helvey is going to be the best ticket sale dude in the business. All right, one more ticket sale. He will be at the Rotary Club tomorrow for coffee. So go give love to Corey Helvey, the hardest working dude in the XFL ticket sales. The beast. He is the beast.
We ain't even talked about the rules yet.
We ain't even talking about the rules.
We haven't really talked about the rules yet.
Nope.
That might have to come on another show.
Might have to, but
right now it's more of the business aspects. And
again, I made a mistake. I said, yes, you take the XFL. You know what, Arlington? We're going to do something. I got the hot water in me, Arlington. My throat's feeling good. I'm ready to get into. I'm ready, Arlington.
Yes.
You got idiots.
There it is. That is out there.
You got idiots in this chat room that are ticking me off.
No. The only person that needs to be ticked off is me with you. That's it.
We got idiots in here. They're ticking me off, Arlington. I'm not liking it because they're morons.
No, you're the moron. It happened. You just happen to be the smart one in this group so far.
You're right. I am the smart one. Everything I has come to fruition. So I'm gonna,
yes, there is a petition out there about saving the Roughnecks, and that's been put out.
You're right. It is. It's been out there. It's all over the pages. Go check it out. So a certain individual knows what he needs to do. He needs to go check his messenger. Now listen. So you keep Daryl Johnson. You keep the marketing for the USFL ticket side. You go XFL. Okay. Now we get to the teams. So listen, we know that the USFL used hubs. So you got your 4 hubs. You got Michigan, Canton, Memphis. Oh, look, and here he is. The loudmouth. We got a loudmouth on here, Arlington. You sure you want another loudmouth with this, Arlington?
Are you going to give me too big of a headache?
I think, well, I won't. He will. He will.
No. This is my guy. Bring him in, because is there anybody that I want against you is this guy.
He's an idiot.
No, you are.
He's an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
My God.
St. Antonio.
What is going on, folks?
Hey, the superstar from Orlando himself.
I muted you. Welcome to our show.
I unmuted me. It's SAJ, St. Louis's most beloved and most hated fan from the San Antonio nation. What is up, folks?
Idiot.
Hey, man.
You know what the
You
sad-
and Brahma Babe and Rick Rocker, y'all all you guys that were down there in Orlando, y'all are famous now, man.
Here's the funny thing. You ready? Here's the funny thing, Jay. Here's the funny thing. Are you ready? It's funny. You're not liked in San Antonio. I'm loved in San Antonio. I'm hated in St. Louis, and you're loved in St. Louis. It's all correct.
Sounds about right.
That does sound about right.
It sounds about right.
That sounds about right. But sir, so we're here having this conversation about, you know, who's staying, who's going.
Yeah.
Hub cities are being thrown out there. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of it, but they're saying that's what's going to keep the cost down.
Yeah.
What are you thinking right now as we continue on with this saga of this merger?
Well, let me be the first to say that I think it goes without saying that none of us XFL fans are particularly keen on the USFL business model. However, we do know it's somewhat effective. I mean, as far as keeping costs down and things like that, you know, you hub 8 cities in one. You hub 8 teams in one city. You have them all play in that one city or 2 cities. You can keep your costs down pretty low. However, what is the economic impact on the fan base? Let's be honest. XFL or the XFL has the market cornered on fans. USFL didn't do so good with fans. Even when they were giving away tickets, buy one for $10, get your entire family in for free. Your entire family, and then your neighbors, and then the next 5 people down the street. Still couldn't give those tickets away. So I think that if the USFL is smart and they don't want to commit, you know, league suicide here, they're going to want to pull in the essentially the 4 biggest fan bases of the XFL at a minimum, right? Which, if you look at the season ticket sales as your kind of determining factor, because that's guaranteed money, right? Once somebody puts down their money for the season tickets, that's your money. You can't really take it back. So that's going to be the deep fried battle chickens in St. Louis. That's going to be the stinky cattle here in San Antonio. That's going to be our beer snake friends in DC, and probably the sea snake people up in Seattle or wherever that place is over on the West Coast there. At a minimum, those teams should be safe, right? Now, looking back over at the USFL, you really only have about 3 or 4 teams that are going to be safe. It's going to be probably what the heck are they? I believe Michigan has their own stadium, if I'm not.
Yeah, so it's with the USFL, you're going to have Michigan, Canton, Memphis, and Birmingham. Those would be your 4 there.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be your 4. Now, look, I mean, rumors have been talked about that, you know, okay, are we doing an 8-team team? Are we doing a 10-team team, 12-team league? We've seen this change constantly, right? We've seen it change constantly, okay? So you know for sure, because as you see the title, it says, who says we're going to stay? So you're saying St. Louis, you're saying the battle pigeons,
yep,
the shitty bull,
the stinky bull, sir. Stinky bull. I'm trying to keep it family appropriate.
Oh, okay. The stinky bull, the beer snake, and then the sea lizards.
The sea lizards.
Okay, so those are your 4. So there's your 4 teams that you can have for an 8-team league.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, question is where do you do it? So do you have your hub in Birmingham still? And then I like Pooping Bull. I do like Pooping Bull.
Yep.
Okay, Pooping Bull. Or and then do you do your XFL cities in Arlington?
So let's talk about that, because what would the point be of having a hub in Arlington and no city or no team playing there, right? That doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense.
True.
So an 8-team league probably isn't going to be the best route to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably looking at more like a 10, possibly even 12-team league. Okay.
You know, this is why I love Javier. This is why I love Javier. He says, shut up, Dirty. You're an idiot. No one likes you. And you need to jump off a bridge. That's why A-Train is still about that now.
Wow.
Love him.
That's what I said. That's kind of deep.
Wow.
Love you, pal. I love you.
Hey, that's my guy, though. Javier's been with us since the beginning.
Just since the beginning. Even though he's an idiot, I still love him.
No, I can respect that kind of commitment, you know?
An idiot. I still love him.
But so back to the league, really wouldn't make sense to have 4 teams practicing there with no team playing in Arlington. But they're not going to get rid of Arlington as a hub. I mean, that's pretty much a guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
So then you're going to have to sneak in, the powder blue tough guys, if you want to call them that.
That's what the Renegades are.
Yeah. So there's 5. But then who do you bring in on the USFL side? Because again, you really only have 4 teams. And you've got that whole controversy with Houston going on, whether it's going to be the Roughnecks or it's going to be the Gamblers. Like I get the fact that the USFL wants to hold on to the Gamblers because of the connection to the USFL back in the 80s. And you had Jim Kelly and you had a bunch of players that went on to do incredible things in the NFL. But that was 1982. Like the people that remember that team
that was 83 through 86.
You know what, man? Come on.
Well,
I know why you did that. But go ahead.
The people that remember that team are either my age or older or probably sitting in a nursing home crapping in their diapers and they don't remember anything.
Get kicked out because I remember the original USFL, damn it. I remember the original USFL. I'm old enough to remember it.
Okay? And I'm right there with you, Dirty. I remember the original USFL team here in San Antonio as well. And all of the notorious stories that we have about the San Antonio the Gunslingers, and the literal cannonball runs that they would have when they would get their paychecks, because only the first 10 of them would clear the bank. The rest of them were all going to bounce.
Exactly.
So we don't want that kind of notoriety in our team, right? We want something way outside of that. But again, like there's that whole controversy in Houston as to which one they want to stick with. Do you want to stick with the historical connection where you think you can draw some nostalgia and maybe even tap in on some of the old nostalgia from the Oilers fan base to bring people over? Or do you want to stick with the 15,000 strong Roughnecks fans that you already have now, right? That's something for the smart people to figure out. I'm not a money guy.
Yeah, so
I can only tell you what my opinion is.
Right.
But I really think it's going to come down to, most likely from what I'm seeing, a 10-team league, 5 from each. And that's only because Arlington is going to get brought in because they've got a hub there. And then I have no idea who they're bringing in on the USFL side. Yeah, after the other 4 that we talked about, I don't know who else they're going to bring in.
Look, okay, so I'm going to give it to you. You ready? I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to work. So this is going to be a 12-team league, okay?
Okay.
Shut up, Pat.
You're gonna have, on the XFL side, you're going to have Seattle, St. Louis, San Antonio, Arlington, DC, and Orlando. That's going to be your 6 teams.
Bold.
On the XFL side. Now,
Bold.
USFL side, you're going to have your 4 hubs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The Roughnecks, not the Roughnecks, the Gamblers. And then you're going to take, then it's either going to be, now you got New England, you got Philadelphia or New Jersey, and then you got the Breakers. I'm saying it's the Philadelphia will be the next team. Philadelphia Stars. That'd be your 6 teams. And then you will have 6 different practice hubs.
Yeah.
So you'll have DC as a practice hub. Okay. Then you'll have Birmingham as a practice hub. Okay. Then you'll have Arlington as a practice hub. You'll have Memphis as a practice hub. Michigan, a practice hub.
And St. Louis.
No, you won't have St. Louis. because you already have Memphis. You won't have St. Louis. It's going to be Memphis. And then, well, how many was that? How many did I say?
We're waiting for one more.
Oh, wait, what's the other one? You just gave me 5.
Maybe you do throw in St. Louis then as the practice hub. And the way you do it is you have 2 teams. You have a USFL team and an XFL team in each hub practicing against each other.
So what does that mean then, sir, for when it comes to games?
Now, you travel, you put them in your – so now that's where – this is why, because the XFL has all of the 6 – they have the 6 leases with their stadiums already, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They have the 6 leases. So you fly your teams back out to your cities and have them play in their cities.
You would absolutely have to, because first of all, you've got people that have already invested money in the season tickets. Second of all, as we talked about, right, the XFL, the positive numbers they put on the books came from ticket sales, came from merchandise sales. Now, granted, I understand they ultimately didn't turn a profit.
There you go.
But they did have money come in, okay? And it wasn't from the TV deals or anything like that the USFL did. This is all fan-driven, purchases. So it would be league suicide for this new USXFL league, whatever they're going to call it, whatever smoke and mirrors they're going to do there, to eliminate the fans from the equation. Because I'm telling you right now, you've heard it before. A lot of San Antonio fans are already saying it. St. Louis fans have said it, although you guys probably wouldn't have to worry about it. But if any Texas team here gets hubbed in Arlington and we have to go to Arlington for the games, nobody's going to go. You might have maybe 1,000 people that go, and that's it.
The same in St. Louis. It'd be the same in St. Louis. St. Louis fans ain't gonna, if they don't play here in St. Louis, they're not gonna go. They will drive to Memphis.
Hell no. They're not driving no 4 hours to Memphis to get to the Battlehawks game. You can forget it.
Your St. Louis fans didn't travel this season to go support the team, except for like 20 people.
We had like probably 10.
Yeah, and that's with having your team in your city. Right. So there's no way you guys are leaving St. Louis, and it's probably better for the rest of the nation that you don't. I'm just saying.
I don't think they are going to do the hubs. I think they'll practice in hub cities, but I don't think they will play in hub cities. And it's only going to be 2 divisions. 2 divisions. It's going to be an XFL division and a USFL division. Daddy Ed's been saying it. I can tell you that right now. Look, I'm just going to tell you, straight out tell you. It's 2 divisions, XFL on one side, USFL on one side.
Hey, I would love to see Dirty and Pat at a Philadelphia Star tailgate.
Woo, baby.
Okay.
Woo, baby.
Okay.
I would love
2 divisions. Right. That's all I've been seeing anyway.
Love it.
It just makes perfect sense. Now, 12 games, on the other hand.
I'm still hearing 10.
Well, and I mean, you look at the NFL structure, you don't have, 31 games being played, right?
Right.
You've got 17 games now, so some teams are not going to play other teams. So if you do a 10-team structure, you can still get away with a 10-game season. If you did 12 teams, you could still get away with a 10-game season, right?
Right. There's 2 teams you won't play against that season.
Right. So, like, for example, if this merger were not happening, San Antonio would be traveling to St. Louis this year, and we would be traveling to D.C. And then the rest of the games would just be the rest of the games, right? Because we played DC and St. Louis here in San Antonio, so we would be going to those locations for the games before the whole merger thing, kind of broke down and ruined everything.
Yeah.
So there could very easily be, like we just said, a situation where you've got teams that don't play other teams. Maybe there's 2 teams per division that get skipped over. So let's say it's a 6-team I'm sorry, a 12-team league. You've got 5 other teams in your thing. That's 10 games, and then you play, the number 1 and number 6 or something like that. There's 12 games done.
All right, Sabrina, I will talk about that tomorrow on the B-Hawk Live show. Daddy Ed has a take on that, so tune in tomorrow at 8:00 on the B-Hawk Live show, because I honestly don't think as many St. Louis fans would travel to Memphis.
Because they wouldn't do it to Arlington for the very first game in 2020. Don't let me go there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But we are in overtime. I'm hot because I had an entire big glass of hot water. I'm sweating. I am sweating in a hoodie today. I'm very, very hot. So
we got through a lot, man.
We did.
The next show, we're going to have to go over what the game going to look like and maybe continue on this conversation of where we can see most teams going.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys always want to finish your show off with the very best guests that you can get, right? So you, of course, save that honor for me. SAJ in the house.
We saved it for you, man. Hey, because you're the only guy, Jay, I know that can stick with this guy here. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I definitely want to see the both